Uncovering hidden truths in crime investigations reveals unsettling patterns and suspicious parental silence.
In this next clip.
Can you describe how the day's been going so far?
It's been a wee bit stressful. Just trying to manage from the outside to make sure that the searchers are safe, and there's 6 groups, so it's a lot of moving around and making sure that they're okay. Like I've had to get 2 people out who needed to go out because it was too much for them. So that's been a little bit difficult to manage. And then just with the cell service and the walkie-talkies not working properly, it's been really difficult. But I know where everybody is now, and we've only got a couple hours left of sunlight, so we're ahead of the game. There has been some items located that...
All right, we saw the items, so we're going to get into that. Hit that like button. There's still 218 people in here. Deborah, shout out to you for just subscribing. Thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, let's keep going.
That would initially be like items of interest. So I'd look to be like a boy's t-shirt we had located. We sent that to the RCMP. They're going to connect with family to see if it appears familiar. At this time, it doesn't appear to be a familiar shirt. We found like a box with some people's names in it that are interesting that we're going to turn over to the RCMP.
That's very interesting, guys. It piques my attention because it is Daniel Martell. I don't know what the rest of this means, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Again, RCMP's being pretty hush.
They're actually on duty today, so just in the event that we do find something. And they were very interested in the box that we found with the certain names in it that I can't say, but
yeah,
they're interested in that. And the fact that it's found in the water, downriver, and
I believe there is forensics on it, whether it's touch DNA, whether it's real actual DNA, whether it's whatever. I believe that these 2 pieces of evidence are what's the breakthrough in this case, where they're going to turn it into a criminal investigation, because that's coming next.
Yeah, it's just strange. It's strange.
A mysterious box is found in an area where 2 small children disappeared, full of names, and one of those names is Daniel Martell, the kid's stepdad. If you were the parents, would you be curious about this? I know I would, which is why the parents' complete silence about this discovery is so bizarre. I would have expected them to be all over this, asking the police to tell them more about it, maybe showing the handwriting off online on their Facebook pages, just in case anyone recognizes it. Anything to try to figure out if this is a clue about what...
And that's what I was telling you earlier, that I bet you they're going to use that handwriting. That is tied to something, and the DNA is tied to whatever else they're looking at. And that's why it's taking so long for them to get back with a change in the case, a presser saying, hey, we found these items and
happened to their kids. But I don't think they're doing any of that for the same reason I think they didn't call this search team to come over and try to help find their kids, because they already know what happened. They're not curious about it. Indeed, a lack of curiosity is one of the 4 tells of a hoaxer on my spotting hoaxes card from my deception deck, my 52 favorite rules for spotting lies and manipulation. And that's because a hoaxer already knows the truth. They're just peddling a lie. So being curious about potential leads doesn't occur to them in the first place. It's why I think Lily and Jack's parents aren't curious at all about this box of names, even though the video we're reacting to was posted a month ago and has over 300,000 views.
And we haven't heard a thing from Daniel saying anything. And we know Malaya has been just out of the picture. She's made some statements, but that's about it. But those are her children missing. And is she that scared of Daniel? Is that what she's alluding to? I'm not sure about that, guys. Thank you so much, Little Miss Sharon, for the $5 super sticker. You're awesome. Thank you. All right. Yeah, let's keep going.
So people who 100% don't know what happened were definitely curious about it. But it's also why I think Gus Lamont's grandparents aren't curious about each other, even though if their story is true, one of them was home alone with him when he vanished without a trace. Likewise, I think it's why Madeleine McCann's parents aren't curious about the last person to check the bedroom before she disappeared.
And why certain parents aren't searching, because they don't need to search. They already know what the end result is, guys. This happens. We see it every day, right? Every time we cover a true crime case, especially lately, it's been a parent doing something to their child and just being lackluster about it, because why? They don't need to. They know. And on that note, that's what I want you guys to understand, is that I am going to be covering the Sebastian case as it comes up into the 2 years. I did not realize that Chris and Katie's interview, that weird creepy hand video where they said they didn't want to go show their faces because too much emotion, that was not their first video. Their first video was on a small YouTube channel. And when we break that down, y'all are going to say, why aren't these people suspects? Why are they not people of interest? All right. Okay. Now, Marie says the box is not mysterious. The box is part of geocaching. And I have read a long time ago that Daniel is geocaching, which is fine. That's perfectly fine, Marie. But it's not about the mysterious box. It's about the evidence that they're using from the box, where RCMP is calling it a breakthrough with DNA and forensics. Now, guys, there is, and that's fine. Yes, that's a sign sheet for geocache. Something about the geocache sheet has something of interest to RCMP. Okay, so I'm glad. Thank you guys for letting me know that. All right, Norma, good to see you. Lucky, how you doing? Missy, you know that I've got a whole playlist. I think I've done like 20 videos on this case, and I put it in the description. I think it said May before his name. Possibly. Yeah, I did say some things that I was like, but it's the forensic aspect that I'm interested in hearing about. I don't care that he was geocaching. That could just mean, wow, he knows the area even better. And when he's out there, maybe he found a perfect spot to get rid of evidence. Who knows?
Even though that would be the most obvious suspect if your kid vanished. And to a slightly different degree, I think it's why John Ramsey, John Benet's father, defends putting her in pageant shows in one breath, yet says he thinks her killer is a deranged pedophile in the other. He's not worried that perhaps the killer discovered her through those shows. He regrets it not at all. I could go on and on with all the parents who I think are hoaxers, like Summer Wells, William Turrell, Sebastian Rogers. You can find my analysis of all those cases under the podcast tab and the playlist tab on my YouTube channel. Check the end card for my Lily and Jack and Gus Lamont playlists. If you want me to continue this series, let me know by liking, commenting, and sharing. Until next time, stay true.
We love your coverage, sir, but now, guys, hit that like button. And you know I love you guys. We're an hour and 33 minutes, guys. And you know what goes down. We've been going later lately, and we are. Thank you, guys. Like, subscribe, share. Now we're going to get to the backstory of it. We're going to focus on Malaya, and we want to thank, it's inside of the, it's inside of my description, Hunter S. True Crime, and not only backstory, but we're going to talk about Malaya. We're starting off with backstory.
I'm going to start doing videos. Maybe you would like to know more about me. Well, I'm part native, not Indian, but kind of ish. Native is like Mi'kmaq. Other things, my eyes are gray. Yeah, pretty amazing, huh? Gray eyes. And also, one last thing. I love listening to music. And that's basically it.
And guys, in another episode, I did find her YouTube channel and I played the channel so you can see the difference between how her personality progresses. And you can see that, yeah, she's just a teenager liking music, nothing big, but you can see her demeanor and how it changes. And I believe it is the result of not only growing up, right, and having children, a postpartum, having an abusive boyfriend or husband, whatever they call him. They weren't married, are they? They keep calling him the husband, and then they call it the boyfriend, the stepfather.
So, I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.
7 years later, Lily was born to Malaya and her boyfriend, Cody.
Lily is.
Now, that's the biological father. There's 222. The biological father was the one that hadn't seen them for years and stopped paying child support, which in turn made them struggle with money financially. And not only did they struggle, they were fighting over it.
She was my little dream girl, that's the first granddaughter. And I love that she had brown hair and she had a space between her teeth, which I had when I was a kid. So yeah, she was our little princess.
And again, she is talking about her in the past tense. We don't know that they're not alive anymore. Nobody knows that, do they? Weird. 17 months later,
Jack was
Jack
such a
born.
sober, serious little baby that he didn't like to smile.